Now, the district level elections will take place across the country tomorrow. Ghanaians will go to the polls to elect assembly and unit members to steer the affairs of the local assemblies for the next 4 years. Now, ahead of that, we engaged the former Gender Minister, Otiko Djaba, who has vigorously been campaigning for the election of more women and persons with disability. Good morning and welcome to News Desk.
Good morning.
Very nice to see you again.
Thank you so much.
So before we talk about the campaign, I had you here a few weeks ago, and we were talking about this very same issue. So there was a lot of feedback about you talking about women going into politics and the fact that you have stepped back. And so the question on a lot of our listeners' minds was, how do you stand on the sidelines, as it were, and encourage other women to go? And I thought I would give you a chance to clear that up before we continue with the interview.
Okay, and good morning to all your viewers and all the people who are asking me this question. It is important that you understand that I'm never on the sidelines. I'm deeply involved in bringing up women, supporting them, encouraging them, training them to find themselves. And I always say that it was a huge privilege for me personally to be able to serve as a national women's organizer and as a minister, because it opened a lot of doors and experience, and I've brought that experience and knowledge to bear. I would not have had the time to do what I'm doing now. God always works in mysterious ways. And in as much as you would want to see me out there, it's not about me. It was just an opportunity for me to serve. And this is a bigger opportunity for me to build the capacity of women with all the experience that I have gained. I don't know of anybody who can do it better than me. I understand the challenges and the joys and the achievements. And so I'm able to educate and train other women and persons with disability to do it. I don't chicken out and I don't cop out.
Okay, well, now that we've cleared the air on that, tomorrow's the D-Day.
Yes.
How has the campaign been going?
As you heard, the women, they have worked seriously and vigorously, as well as the persons with disability. 909 women, 20 men with disability are contesting tomorrow, 17th December. Please go out there and vote. If you look at the pictures there, you don't know the person. Once it's a woman, just thumbprint for her. As you thumbprint for her, you're thumbprinting for your mother, you're thumbprinting for your sister, for your friend, your auntie, for all those women who have voices, who were not able to pick forms. These 909 women represent them.
Yeah.
All the persons with disability, they're about 3% of our population. That's over 734,000 people who are persons with disability. Not everybody was able to pick the form. Only about 20 people. Please, power of the thumb. Just thumbprint for the person with disability so that their voices will be heard. Look, this is a historic moment. In 2015, we had over 1,700 people who were persons, women and persons with disability who picked forms. Only 281.
One year.
And so come 2019, we need to make a change. We must change the narrative. And the women out there are good women.
Yeah.
They are women full of love. They are women full of passion, the desire to serve. And so when they put themselves out, they're putting themselves at risk of abuse, of mockery, of insults. The person with disability, somebody will say, when people with legs can't even do it, you are coming.
You think that, yeah.
But he is also a human being.
Yeah.
He also matters, and he has brains, and he has a voice. And so it is critical that Ghana, with our high democratic credentials, must stop pretending and walk the talk. We must keep the promise that all of us as citizens, our collective responsibility is to respect each other and include one another. If I have a child who is disabled, I shouldn't say that because my child is disabled, that child cannot go and serve as an assemblywoman or man. If I have a child who is a woman, I shouldn't say that just because she's a woman, she should not go out there. Please, her coming out to pick a form alone is a demonstration of her will, of her ability, How many women have come out? Only 909. Only. How many persons with disability? Only 20.
Wow.
So let us encourage them by voting for them tomorrow. Don't say that, oh, as for district assembly elections, it's not like the general election. Your voice counts and your vote matters. If you don't, then we're going to have the same people elected again because the same few people will go and vote.
Right.
Please go out massively. I'm going to Somanya to go and vote. Wherever your vote is, go there. If you have to travel out, then leave today so that you go there and team. So, Emma, the persons with disability, and women, they have earned the right to be treated equally.
Yeah.
Who says that the people we've been voting for, the men, that they are okay? With all the mess that is going on, it means that there are gaps. And as a society, we must bring in everybody. And the women and the persons with disability are key stakeholders.
Right.
And it is to the betterment of Mother Ghana that we bring them on board and that we give them the opportunity. And women, I'm saying, you've given yourself the opportunity by even picking the form. Persons with disability, you've given yourself the right by picking the form. And once somebody demonstrates that will, you should also provide your commitment by voting for them.
By voting for them.
They come out there, campaign for others who are able-bodied. The women are always campaigning for men. Why should I campaign for you? Vote for you. And when it comes to my turn, you belittle me or you push me aside and say that I'm not worthy. I'm just okay to campaign for you. I'm just okay to vote for you. I don't think that is fair.
No, it's not. It's not. But you know, watching the documentary just before we started to talk, you had mentioned that there was one of the ladies whose husband didn't want her to come out, and we have heard stories like that. I still struggle to understand what it is that would, you know, stand in the way of a husband. And I think maybe married women have this problem more than single women. What would stand in the way of a husband, you know, supporting his wife and saying, okay, go ahead and do this, or even fathers with their daughters. I mean, what do you have to say to the men who are holding some of these women back?
Yeah. The thing is, behind every successful man is a woman.
Of course.
But when it comes to the turn of the woman, there is nobody, because the men usually think that the woman should be in the house taking care of the children, the housework, so that the man can progress and go and be the breadwinner and what have you. That is our mentality. That's how we were brought up. But times have changed. This is the 21st century and this is 2019. A woman can still cook, have children, and still go out there and be an assembly woman or go out there and be campaigned for. And so husbands should not be afraid that the woman will not be there or that she'll be negligent of her
in her household duties.
Yes, her household
or her chores,
duties.
yeah.
That is one of the fears. And the other one is that they think that the woman will come and lord it over them. That when she's in a leadership position, when she's in decision making, then she would bully them. But does that mean that the men are bullying the women?
But the thing is, women are in leadership and decision-making positions even in the home, because so much of the responsibility of running the home, of raising the children, lies with the women anyway.
Yes.
So it's really just an extension of what we do so naturally.
Thank you very much. Yes.
So
it is. We women have been leading our children from day one.
Yes.
Teaching them how to sweep. Don't eat with your mouth open. Don't talk with your mouth open.
Yes.
Wake up early, do your homework, blah, 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 and all of that. That is leadership. But because of our societal, cultural, and all sorts of barriers that we grow up with, we tend to push women behind once we become men. I used to be in the villages working in Tumu, and when there was a meeting, they would call 16-year-old boys and leave their mothers behind because they are the men. They must come out and take decisions. They would ask that the women stay behind when it comes to community decisions about where should we put the borehole, where should we put a school,
and yet
where
it's the
should we
women
put
who
the
are
market.
fetching the waters. It's the waters that...
Yes. So we are saying that voices of women must be heard. And so they matter and we must bring them on board. And once women can support men to be successful, men should also support women to be successful. And anything that men can do, women can do and do it better. And being a person with disability does not mean that your mind is also disabled.
Yeah.
It's just the physical movement, or maybe to do with your eyes or hearing impairment and what have you. So please, 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 tomorrow is a date with destiny, 17th December. Go early and vote, and then you can go back and do whatever you're doing, so that collectively we can say that we have made a change, a difference in the way we vote this 2019 at the district level and the unit committee. It is unacceptable that a country like Ghana will have just about 7%, 7.6% of women at the assembly.
Yeah.
It is unacceptable.
Completely unacceptable. And it's also a reflection of our apathy levels. So apathy levels are pretty high. How are you planning to encourage people, or just getting them out of the house just to actually go and vote, or, you know, leaving the markets, leaving the schools, leaving their jobs just to go and vote?
Across the country, we are talking, and just not me, but other groups are also talking. Various CSOs and the NCCE and all sorts of groups are all talking that, look, get out there and vote. Getting out the vote is not easy. We've asked that people who can help others, especially persons with disability, provide transportation for them to get to the polling station should do that. Those of you who can provide some water and food for them should also go out there and do that, so that people are encouraged to go out and vote.
Okay.
If you don't go out and vote, you leave your vote to those who go to vote.
Yeah.
And then
you can't complain about the results.
Complain about the results, because you'll say that, oh, I didn't vote. Why didn't you vote? Nothing stops you from voting. Please go out there and vote. Your vote is your power. Your vote is your power. And it's not just for general elections, but for any vote that we are supposed to vote, like the district assembly, because that is where local governance is. That is where community development starts from. And so please, 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 get whatever you have to get ready and go out there. And I want to beg the women, just focus and connect with people, as many people as you can in your electoral area today. Focus, focus, and focus. And then the persons with disability, touch hands, just touch a hand, house to house, door to door, wherever, bed to bed. Make sure that you touch as many people as possible. And anybody who has not been touched, be touched by my voice. Anybody who has not been touched, be touched by the voice of another person who is campaigning for women and persons with disability to be elected. It is important that we today, who are alive, will leave that legacy that others will come and emulate. That we will say that we did it. We changed the narrative. 909 women, 20 persons with disability, all of them. And it will be a record. It will be the highest number of women and persons with disability elected at the district assembly. And that will be to our own benefit. And you will feel good to know that my mother did not stand. She couldn't, but somebody's mother did.
Yes.
My daughter couldn't.
Yes.
My sister couldn't. My friend couldn't. But somebody has. And that person, I really applaud all of you. And they need to be encouraged.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Fear not, because the Lord is with you.
Yes.
And the power of the thumb must also demonstrate God's will, because God created Adam and Eve, man and woman, that we should work together and complement each other to develop Mother Ghana. Mother Ghana needs the voices of women and persons with disability. Tomorrow is the date.
I'm so convinced.
You will go and vote.
I will go and vote.
Thank you very much.
And if you're listening to us, please do make some time tomorrow to go out there and vote, especially for women and persons with disability. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for
And we'll be keeping an eye on your campaigning. And
yes.
And as I always say, when you come, we look forward to having you back in politics one of these days. That's
never say never.
Never say never.
But yes. I will say this. When the table is set by women. And then they even sometimes don't eat because perhaps the food is not enough or more visitors have come. But for the table of development, the table of governance, of nation building, of community progress, women, if they don't give you a seat, take your stool there. Take your own voice there. And make a change, make a difference. And speak out at all levels, as well as persons with disability, to ensure that you are not forgotten and that you are not a footnote.
Yes.
It is okay to be a woman. I love and I enjoy being a woman.
Yes. Oh,
and
yes.
without women, Ghana and the world would be a very sad place.
It would, wouldn't it?
So vote for women, vote for persons with disabilities. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And that was former Minister for Gender, Otiko Djaba.